Hey everyone, back with a little video here. I just wanted to make this other video about my thoughts about the season 3, technically part 1 ending of the Netflix show Beastars. It's one of my favorite animes. I read the manga. Well, no, actually, I watched season 1 and 2, but then I heard about the manga, kinda. Then I caught up on that, and then I read the rest of the manga because this was in early 2022, so the manga was already finished by that point. So I caught up on that. When I heard there's going to be more of the anime being adapted, that's why I decided to catch up on it. Kind of like what I've done with any movie adaptation. I always read the book ahead of time. I did it with Harry Potter, Twilight, The Hunger Games. I'm gonna get the new Hunger Games book when it comes out to get ready for the movie next year, but that's a whole nother topic for another time. So, watching the ending of season 3, I really did enjoy it. It was a clip. I had a feeling I wasn't sure where it would end. As I know it's part 1, then the second part's coming out, I think, this year. I had a feeling it was going to end on a cliffhanger. And what do you know? It did. And for me, already who's read the manga, I already know what happens after that point. I already know where it goes. So it was surprising in a way, but kind of not surprising, if that makes sense. You know, with a cliffhanger, a lot of times when it's the penultimate season, a cliffhanger happens, like Harry Potter Half-Blood Prince. Spoiler alert, ended with Dumbledore dying. And going into the final book, you were like, what's happening now? But yeah, the way this ended, season 3, for anyone who hasn't read the manga, here's the thing. I would make this video because for some reason the reaction I see online, people are like completely blindsided by how it ended. Everyone's like, what was that about? I couldn't believe it ended like that. And people were kind of, in a way, surprised, but even kind of angry in a way. I mean, it's kind of weird because people are like, it's just, if you look at the comments, like on both YouTube and Reddit, everyone's like real kind of just dumbfounded by the way it ended, because apparently they thought that this was the series finale in a way, which, to be honest, could Netflix have marketed it a little better saying part 1? Although, in a way, within one of their trailers, if I recall, one of their trailers said part 1, December 2024, part 2, 2025. Or am I not remembering correctly? But I could have sworn when this season was announced, it was known that the rest of the adaptation of the manga was going to be 2 parts. I could have sworn that's been well known for quite some time. But for some reason, everyone's acting like this was the actual series finale, when it's clearly not. And for anyone who knows, is aware that it's only part 1, or anyone like me who's read the manga, knowing that there's a lot more story to cover, you know, especially because these 2 parts covered the last, I think season 2 ended with chapter 98, where it adapted to. I forget the exact number, but there was like 100 more chapters to go. There's no way they were going to fit, because the final chapter is 196. There's no way they were going to fit 100 chapters in only 12 episodes. So it was pretty given that they're going to have to do technically 2 more seasons, although in this part, a 2-parter. Kind of like what the 2-parter is what Cobra Kai did. The final season's 2 parts. I don't know if it says part 1, part 2. I'd have to check again. But anyway, I mean, like, this doesn't make any sense. How it seems so many it just seems like so many people were not aware that this was part one. And it seems like a lot of people or like didn't even know about the did people not know about the manga or something? Have a lot of watchers don't even know about the manga existing? I mean, I would have thought that would have been well known by now. So I'm just really confused about how many people were gobsmacked at the way this season ended. Which, as I said, if you've read the manga, you know that there's more yet. There's more to come. And the way that the season ended, anyone with half a brain would know there's no way a series would have ended like that. Or a well-made series, at least, would have ended like that. So I'm just very, very confused here. I mean, hey, you know what? I'll admit, when I first started hearing about the anime and watching it, joining it, I was at first, I didn't know about the manga. I kind of heard about it, but not, I didn't get a full grasp on it. So maybe I don't have room to talk on that matter to a certain degree, but at least when I was aware of the manga, I kept up, I kept up to date on it. Well, not up to date, because by that point it was already a year removed from ending, so I decided to read the rest to get ready for this adaptation ahead of time, which, as like I said, I do with the other things I mentioned. So maybe people weren't aware that the manga even, which I find hard to believe. I always thought, with a lot of animes that people would always read the manga. They always said the manga is always ahead of, or should be at least, the manga is always ahead of the anime adaptation. I said it just doesn't make sense how many people just didn't seem to be aware. How people were somehow disappointed even, or mad, that upset, or even upset the fact that the way it ended. It's like, were you not aware of the manga? The manga ended over 4 years ago. I mean, at least when I started it, it was only maybe a little, it ended in October 2020. I started getting into Beastars around March, April 2022. So it was only around a little over a year removed from ending the manga. Now it's over 4 years removed. I mean, I would think it would be well known by that point, especially because what I've seen, it was a pretty popular manga, and still is in a way. Even the anime is very popular on Netflix. So I said it's just very odd. That seems like how so many people weren't aware of the story of the manga, knowing that knowing that there's more to come yet. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I'm just confused by it all. And maybe I'll make another update video when I have a clearer look at the posts. I'll even read some to you, see what my actual, seeing more, so I can get a clearer picture. But like I said, just weird that many people were blindsided by the ending, which I said, I'm just perplexed by it, how many weren't aware of it. So if you guys have any theories of why, share your thoughts below, comment below, let me know. And that's all I'm going to say. Yep, catch you guys later. Bye.